versus LVMatterhorn. It's going to be another ZVZ best of 3. Should be a pretty sick match here. All right, getting right into it. Up here in the top left, representing, I think it was Hokagu Stream Team? Something like that. And yeah, something like that. I apologize for screwing that up, but he is bakahentai. What a name. What a player. And then down here in the bottom right, in the purple, representing JaMiT, it is LVMatterhorn. Oh, gotta unzoom too. Man, that's tough. Still not getting the hang of it. Alright, I'm really curious to see what these guys pull out in this series. Man, see, it did it again. I watched it. So, really curious to see what these guys pull out in this series. Curious, we'll see some Roach on Roach, or maybe some Yutas. This should be pretty sick. I'm super excited. Bakahentai going for a little bit earlier extractor there. But don't think that'll make too much of a difference in the long run of this. Spawning pool coming out for both these guys as well. Going to be a slightly faster circling speed here for bakahentai, but don't imagine it to be too big of a deal. Overlords being made as well, and both these expansions will be finished up here in the next few seconds. And yeah, should from there, curious to see what they transition into. We are, a lot of Zergs in this tournament so far. Have been a fan of going to Roaches after this and playing around with that. We saw a little bit of Muta play, but mostly these guys have been sticking to like Ling, Bane, Roach. So we'll see how these two play. I think this is their first casted match of the tournament. Queen's coming out, 6 Lings coming out for LVMatterhorn as compared to the 4 of bakahentai. Slight difference there. But other than that, nothing too major going on. Sorry I keep fucking with this, guys. Just trying to make sure that it doesn't sound like shit for all of y'all. If it ever does, just let me know. So yeah, Zergling speed coming out now. Queen's gonna be popping out here in just a second. Should be pretty sick. Lings might be making their way across the map. Looks like they're just gonna sit there, just out of the way. Maybe try and ambush and jump these Lings. All right, here it goes. Enters Gangland Turf, and here he goes. Purple on blue violence. Ooh, there it goes. First hits. Oh, there goes the Queen. Other Queen not moving to intercept it. We'll see everything that's going on. Baneling Nest is going to be the choice here for bakahentai right at the front. So if Matterhorn sends his Overlord up there, he will see it. A little curious why he didn't put it like there, and he would have seen it. But we'll be able to spot it pretty soon. Then we have an Evolution Chamber and Roaches coming out here for LVMatterhorn. So that should be will be pretty interesting to see how this fight goes. Baneling's already getting produced as well as third base, which is spotted by Matterhorn, of course. And we'll see how this goes. Lair coming out now. And these Banelings are done. Still at the main base, though. We'll see if they make their way across the map and try and apply some pressure here. But looking like he's just going to sit back and try and defend, make sure this third base stays nice and safe. But now that the Roach Warren is done, is gonna be kind of rough here for bakahentai. More and more Roaches coming out. And, ooh, clicks away from it. One Ling not going to make it into the main base. And now larva are going to pop. +1 missile attack on the way as well. Should be pretty interesting. I'm curious to see what bakahentai's plan here is. Looks like he's just going to transition Roaches as well and kind of chalk up those Banelings as a lost cause. This third base is already up for bakahentai, and there's no third base even in production for Matterhorn here. Zergling's getting pressed off at the front, and Roach is going to clean up these Zerglings here, And you know, LVMatterhorn needs to pressure this. Just gonna respond to this. Alright, so more and more lings getting pumped out here. And now, here comes LVMatterhorn across the map, going to start pressuring this. These Banelings going to do what they can to defend this. One detonating on one circling, and another one does as well. Not great here for bakahentai, and now LVMatterhorn has the advantage. He's going to start chasing down these circlings. There's not any defense here. And oh my gosh, that's not what you want to see. Oh man, not great here. Now the superior army for LVMatterhorn has arrived, and we'll start pressuring this third base because he's going to go straight for the jugular. He's going to march straight for this army. He knows he has the numbers. Oh, but he's not fighting with his full force. Oh man, it's so close to this game right now. If he takes his third base, then it's really sick for him. He's getting his third base from behind this. And meanwhile here, for bakahentai, he's going to try and clean this up. He has superior roaches, but these Zerglings aren't able to get this round just yet. With the Zerglings and the Roaches fight together, then Matterhorn will have the advantage, going to try and pick off these weak lings, and now he's fighting in a very decent choke for him, and the Queen helping out as well, going to be forced to draw back. 8 Roaches popping out here for bakahentai as well. Army supply now in his favor, but the third base is now getting established here for Matterhorn, and it did get denied, of course, by... for bakahentai. Now Aspire is going to be the choice of transition here for our teal Zerg. I'm going to have to see what he's able to get done with that. Honestly, you know, no vision in this main base at all this game. I'm not really seeing him spotting this until it might be too late. Hopefully his game sense gives him a heads up and is able to get some spore crawlers up, or else he's going to be losing a lot of drones very quickly. You know, already getting the third base almost a full saturation, and it looks like he will get those final 6 there. +2 missile attacks on the way for him as well. Queen on the way to keep that base all injected up, and now Matterhorn is back on the attack. He does have a window here before the Spire pops. If he is able to kill the rest of this army, he might be able to do enough damage to where he's able to get up a Spire of his own or some sort of air defense in order to stop these Hydralisks. 8 Hydralisks on the way now, but the army supply is still in favor of Matterhorn. He's going to cancel the third base, then he needs to head for the main. He needs to realize what's going on before it's too late, or else he's going to lose so much here. No spine crawlers are in place, or no spore crawlers, excuse me. He doesn't have very many queens, only the 3, and he's backing off here. These Mutalisks are going to be able to do so much damage for so long. You know, I'm not sure if Matterhorn's expecting this at all. He doesn't have really any static defense, am I right? Like... yeah, there's really nothing here, just the queens, and 8 mutas will take on a queen any day. And now he sees it. Now the spore collar's going down. He's taking his 4th base as well. It's a little greedy, but he should be able to defend it. And now these Zerglings getting killed by all these roaches and mutalisks. God, I can't think of the word. And he's going to be chasing them down now. He's going to be losing units. He just still doesn't have any real way to answer these. He has the Hydralisk, but he doesn't have any Hydralisk Den, but doesn't have any Hydralisk just yet. He's not making them. He's getting the upgrade for them right now to increase their range, but it's just not enough. Not yet. The Spore Collar gets canceled. There is one in the mineral line. And now these roaches coming in, I guess, to kill these roaches. It's going to be taking a lot of damage, though, but it looks like this trade will still be in favor for Matterhorn here, with that +2 missile attack really paying off big time compared to the only +1 for bakahentai's roaches. +2 on the way now, and very, very good hold there from Matterhorn. If once these Hydras come out, he's not making any Hydras. He needs some sort of answer for this, whether it's more Queens or some more Hydras. Now he's making Hydras, and he did make 4. Excuse me, I missed those. I'm honestly not sure how well Hydralisks trade against these Mutalisks. I feel like the Mutalisks could just focus them down and be fine. But with that +2 missile attack, it probably makes things quite a bit more difficult. And the Zergling by up here gets completely shut down. Got Roach Hydra Ravager over here at the 4th base. And it looks like both these players are going to start mirroring each other. I feel like bakahentai probably can get some more stuff done with these Mutalisks. See where they're at right now. Yeah, back at the main at his army, I feel like he could still be applying pressure over here and making sure that Matterhorn doesn't leave his base with these, because he still doesn't have that critical mass of Hydras, I feel like, to feel completely safe against this. And he can't really afford to be leaving Hydras at every base either. And looks like they are going to come down towards, right into the army. If they, oh man, if they get caught by these Hydras, that could be huge. Not quite. We'll end up backing off. But it's a very precarious position for both players here. You know, a slight misstep could lead to losing an entire base with how spread out this map is right now. And looks like these Mutilisks flying in, actually going to pick off that queen. That is huge. Oh, but loses 2, maybe 3 Mutilisks. That's massive. Not what you want to see whenever you're moving your Hydras across the map. And now we have a Lurker Den on the way. Not really too much detection here for our purple Zerg here. No Overseers. Still just has those Spore Callers, so unless he's fighting at his base, will be a little bit tough for him to spot those. Again, has a window before this tech is finished where his army should win in a straight-up engagement. He has +1 Carapace, he has +2 weapons, and his comp is better. It's just a matter of concave and whether or not he's able to really realizes the advantage that he has right now. But it doesn't look like he is. And so now the game is going to stabilize for a little bit longer. 34 more Zerglings on the way. It looks like LVMatterhorn is pushing towards maxing out here on this comp. But, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough fight for him once these Lurkers get formed. He sees the Lurkers forming right now. He has to fight now. And he needs to be making some Overseers at home. If he doesn't get a good concave here, this could be really rough. He doesn't have too many roaches to tank for this, so these Hydras are getting shredded by these tankier roaches. That was a really unfortunate engage for him, but he's still ahead in army supply due to the reinforcements coming in and some Zerglings running into the main, as well as a lot of Zerglings canceling the space right here. And the Queen will go down to the main, and these Zerglings here running straight in the army, not what you want to see. But the supply is still in favor, and a lot of work is going down here. 13, 14. Wow, huge losses here in the main base here for bakahentai. And these Zerglings are still alive, still causing ruckus. And, you know, now the income is almost double for LVMatterhorn. He has 20 worker lead. So long as he gets some detection, he'll be in a very great spot, but he doesn't. And these Lurkers are shredding this Hydra army. Oh, no. That is disgusting. Oh man, we got Spire coming out here, going to be finishing up here in just a second. +3 missile attack on the way as well. It's where his Overlord speed finally coming out for LVMatterhorn. And now Zergling Run-By is continuing in the main base. And we'll have to see what the next step is for both these players. You know, now that these guys really have very much of a transition option available to them. At this point, you know, they're pretty close to max. LVMatterhorn actually quite a bit down in supply. I think he lost quite a bit of Zerglings there that I must have missed. I apologize for my subpar observing. A greater Spire on the way. But this army is coming across the map, and it's looking pretty scary. You know, does it still have Lurkers? Yep, still does. And it's still just mostly Hydralisks here. 15 and 31 roaches. Oh man, it's kind of hard for me to tell the difference between them. I'm not gonna lie with these skins. They get the concave on that base down there, and oh, these Lurkers getting massive hits now. Oh man, the Lurkers in this choke are just so brutal, getting so many hits done. 134 to 177 supply. Only Matterhorn's supply is just dropping. Those Lurkers are trading so efficiently. And now pushing up the ramp here, they're going to fight for what they can. The Overseer is forming just a little bit too late here. Army supply almost double now for bakahentai. He has reinforcements on the way across the map as well. This fight might be one for LVMatterhorn, but I'm not sure what the transition is. That was crazy. I'm surprised LVMatterhorn won that fight. I did not think he would win that. I guess having 2-2 to 2-1 really makes a difference, and you know, once he's able to catch out all these Lurkers that are just spread across this map, it'll give him a really good spot. Actually, those Lurkers are so expensive and so intensive to make, but bakahentai is also sending on a lot of money right now and not really spending it at all. Army supply is still in favor of Matterhorn, but he's kind of Leroy Jenkins into them, or Lemmings into them. I tried to combine the two and it didn't quite work on my tongue. Got lots of bases here for our purple Zerg, and he is making his way up here. But this army, I don't think, is enough to take this on. He's gonna try. The roaches are in the back line, not exactly what you want, but he's gonna give it his damnedest, and he's making actually pretty decent trades here. But the army supply is starting to fall, and he is forced to back off. But he's backing off into even more danger. And if these Zerglings pop and are able to get us around and pop this army, then it might be game over for LVMatterhorn. He has to be very careful here. Back off. He needs to get some injections going on some of these bases, and he really needs to remax on. Honestly, I think if he remaxes on what he has and uses this upgrade advantage now with +3 weapons, I think he could be in a pretty decent spot here if he's able to get Broodlords out and just abuse that range, which looks like is what he's going to try and do here. But Broodlords are just so expensive. He needs to get saturation at these bases pretty quickly. Sporecrawler dying a slow, painful death. Hate to see that. We've got Broodlords finally morphing in here, but meanwhile this army for LVMatterhorn is making its way across the map, or not, you know, decided against it. Because attacking, you know, attacking's overrated. Why attack when you can defend, you know? We got Broodlords finally finished here for our purple Zerg, and it's gonna be a really interesting fight to see, because it's gonna be Broodlords versus Lurkers, and you know, obviously Broodlords win because Lurkers can't really shoot up. And how many Hydras does? Only 7 Hydras here, no Corruptors. I think this is gonna catch him completely off guard. I don't know what his answer is for this. Army supply is in favor of bakahentai, but just comp wise might win for Matterhorn. He has 3-2. I imagine +3 Carapace will be on the way at some point. But Matterhorn really needs to push this advantage that he has with this ranged tech. If he can pressure this fight and force something to happen here, he'll be at a very good spot. But instead, he's choosing to stay back. He's going to get some more Broodlords out, and I guess look to remax on Roach Hydra Infestor, and with some Broodlord support. Bakahentai pulled his entire army back. It looks like he's a little bit guilty of using the F2 hotkey there. 2 more Broodlords are on the way as well, and Air Carapace is finally getting research as well. Will really help with the durability of these Broodlords, making sure that even if he gets below them, they'll have a little bit more time to react. And now it looks like bakahentai poised for the fight here, but the Broodlords are going to start doing their work. Might want them a little bit farther back. Those Hydras push up, they might be able to get a few shots on them. And the Broodlings are actually getting one shot very quickly here. And I'm not sure how well this fight is going for LVMatterhorn. The ground army is getting shredded. The Lurkers doing so much work there on the ground. And, you know, the Broodlords are finally getting picked off here by the Hydralisks. But it looks like it just might barely be enough to hold. And now the Lurkers are going to die here. If those Lurkers die, then it'll be very big for Matterhorn. He'll have a very big window where he can pressure and attack. You know, he needs his larvae popping now. He needs so many more units. I don't think he needs more than 5 Broodlords at a time. But these Hydras are doomed to die, unfortunately, if they walk up on those Lurkers. It's just bad news bears all around. And now here comes the main force. The Broodlords are going to be a very powerful deterrent in keeping those Lurkers at bay. All going to come down to the engage here. And those Lurkers, actually, all but 2 got picked off very quickly there. But these Hydras are pushing up and focusing down these Hydralisks, the Broodlords. And more are dying now. And wow, Matterhorn actually pulls it through with the superior upgrades and does take out the Lurkers. And now he's pushing on to the main base. And GG is called. LVMatterhorn takes a very interesting game number 1. That was super bizarre. I think both players there just weren't aggressive in like the game number 2 of the semifinals. Bakahentai versus LVMatterhorn should be pretty fucking sick. Matterhorn barely edging that one out last game. Utilizing those Broodlords to great effect. Excited to see what he can pull out now in the top left in the blue, representing the weird name that I don't remember. I apologize. It is Bakahentai. And down here in the bottom right in the purple, representing JaMiT Gaming, it is LVMatterhorn. And looks like LVMatterhorn immediately doing something a little bit different here. Looks like he's going to go for a 15 expand. And looks like it might go unpunished here. Nothing too aggressive coming out for bakahentai. He's going for something a little bit more standard. So it'll be a bit faster expand here for LVMatterhorn. I'm curious to see what he pulls out after that. Gets the spawning pool up and the extractor. And all this is quite a bit faster than bakahentai's. I'm curious to see if he's just gonna try and flood across the map, or what exactly his plan is here. Spawning pool only just now going down, so it will be a fairly significant window here where Matterhorn has Zerglings and bakahentai doesn't, and when Matterhorn has speed and Baka doesn't. So bakahentai will be really on the back foot for the first half of this, for the first part of this game. We'll have to see how it plays out. You know, I'm really excited to see what little tricks Matterhorn has in store. And he just pulls 4 drones, maybe just transferring them, or yeah, okay, simple enough. I thought we were gonna see like he was gonna go into the base, build spine crawlers. You know, I was excited. I apologize for the microphone. And speed on the way for both these guys now. Queens on the way for them as well. 10 Zerglings in production now for the man in purple, Mr. Matterhorn. There is a 6-worker lead here for bakahentai, but there might just be too many units here, and Matterhorn might be able to abuse this window to full effect, and he's even hiding these lings from the first overlord here. If he's able to go around to the right and go all the way in, he won't be detected until he already arrives. You know, that could be huge, but instead he's going to run straight into it. No! Don't do it! Alright, well, there it is. It has been spotted. Let's see what the reaction is here for bakahentai. He knows this is coming. He immediately throws down a spine crawler. He throws down an Evo chamber a little bit ago, and the Baneling Nest will be finishing up here in just a couple seconds. 12 seconds until the speed is finished. And Army's fire now is 20-8. It's going to be some huge damage here. It looks like bakahentai is smart, and he will wall off the ramp. There might be a 1 gap in between them. I'm not honestly sure. And actually, Morphin Baneling's right in front. That's a little risky. If those get canceled, then his defense is very much difficult. And that queen almost dying already. Not 8 dummies why now. Oh, the Banes! Alright, the Banes are going to pop. They're running straight for it. Oh, very not good hits there. Not what you want. And more lanes coming across the map now. Queen number 1 almost dies, but not quite. And has to cut out those broodlings. And now here comes Baneling number 2. Gets very decent hits, but they both detonate at the same time, which isn't exactly what you want. And now the expansion getting targeted down here. Looks like Army Supply is in favor of bakahentai for the moment in this current engagement. But now Matterhorn regrouping with its reinforcements, actually not hotkeying them, I guess. So they're not quite in, but now here they come. They're going to be fighting, and it's a better surround for Matterhorn, but those queens doing a lot of work there on the back line. And he is now actually building drones, and it looks like he is just going to transition out of that pressure. He did kill that entire Bane Nest that is forcing that to be rebuilt, which is huge. Lots of minerals and gas spent on that, as well as those canceled Banelings earlier. And yeah, he's just going to keep dancing around here, keeping up pressure. And on the other side of the map, he's going to get a Baneling Nest of his own. +1 melee attack actually on the way here for bakahentai, which will be a pretty big advantage. Normally you do see Carapace coming out for them because it does mean that they don't die to 1 Baneling kit. They live with like 0.5 health or something stupid like that. But it does make a difference. With this melee attack, they will be able to definitely destroy Matterhorn's Zerglings in a straight up fight. And a Roach Warren now, as well as an Evolution Chamber being taken at the front of the base here for Matterhorn. And bakahentai does spot it, so we'll see what he decides to transition into here. Might see a little bit more pressure out of him with some Zerglings in that window. Or he might just decide, yeah, it looks like he is going to make his way across the map. Curious what he's going to try and do here. Spine Caller getting relocated to the front. Oh, the Zerglings almost made it inside, but not quite. And Matterhorn kites back from that. Does not want any piece of that. At the front of the base here. Just going to be dancing for a little bit. One little drone has lost his way. We got some roaches coming out now. Third base getting taken here for bakahentai. And we'll have to see if Matterhorn's able to punish. He should know about this. Like, based on vision, and he sees the creep spread heading over that way, you know, he should be able to assume that that's there. But he hasn't actually laid eyes on it just yet. Zergling spreading out here, going to chase that last straggler down, who's going to try and get a read on what's going on here. But he really doesn't see anything that he didn't already know. He still doesn't actually know that third base is there. He is building more and more roaches now. He has a pretty sizable army advantage. If he's able to push his way across the map and fight, then he should at the very least be able to cancel that third base, but I just don't think he's quite aware. And now the Lings make their way across the map. Or not. Or yes. Okay, there they go. They've finally committed. They're going to make their way up into the center of the map here, and we'll duel a little bit with these other Zerglings. They do, he should notice now that they do have +1 melee attack. But he still does not actually know if that third base is there. And, ooh, no Baneling hits. No Baneling hits just yet, but now here come the roaches. And the Banes are going to be running straight into them now. Actually, very nice splash damage on all of those roaches. But the army supply is still heavily in favor of Matterhorn here. Actually, wow, very nice Baneling hit there. Lots of Zerglings going down. These roaches are doing what they can, but I don't think there's enough army here to really deal with this. 30 armor supply to 26. These Zerglings will get cleaned up, but they're trading very efficiently with these roaches, which are much more expensive. And now armor supply is evened up. You know, after just like a little bit of Baneling pressure. GG. Matterhorn calling it game. Alright, into game number 3 here in just a second. Hope you guys are all enjoying. Thank you all so much for watching and for following the stream. Appreciate it. And most importantly, thank you to all of y'all who signed up to play in this tournament today. Hope you all had a blast. And congratulations in advance to the lucky few who get to earn some money. Should be pretty great. Excited to get into this match. Game number 3. Everything on the line here for these guys. Winner goes to the finals. Loser takes home a maximum of only $10. It is a $5 difference on the line here, with the possibility of just making no money at all. Spawning up here in the top left in the blue, it is bakahentai. And down here in the bottom right in the purple, it representing JaMiT, it is LVMatterhorn. Alright, both of these guys still not doing anything crazy. No 14-14, something like that. Doubt they want to risk their tournament on this game, which is fair enough. I'm curious to see if these guys are going to mix it up, or if they're just going to continue with the Lingbane into whoever builds roaches first, into maybe, then to Mutalisk, into maybe something else. It's all a bit funky. Have to see here. Spawning pool coming out for both these guys. Extractor as well. Yeah, you know, just nothing too crazy. Both these guys keeping it nice and simple for this final game. I am curious to see if I would like to see more Lingbane fights between these guys. Or one of them to actually commit to a Spire switch. You know, we kind of saw it in game number 1 but neither player really made too many Mutalisks. Neither player, you know, other than the Broodlords, there wasn't really too many air units going around. I'd really like to see one of these guys utilize like Lean Bane Muta, but have an actual sizable number of Mutas. That's what I would like to see. Let me know what you guys would like to see in the chat. Those of you who are still watching, thank you so much for the support. We're going about 3 hours now. Really appreciate you guys. Evo Chamber coming down now for bakahentai. Probably going to get a melee upgrade that he likes so much, or possibly Carapace. You know, something to give him a little bit of edge in the ZVZ tug of war. And a Baneling that's actually on the way for him as well. Looking like he's gonna want to take the initiative in this game and go pretty aggressive. Marches in his way in. Gonna be met by 4 hostile Zerglings. And actually we're gonna do the main here, and we'll see all there is to see. Sees both extractor timings. And yeah, nothing that's really good for bakahentai. He knows there's no Baneling that's on the way. He kind of sees how much larva the dude has and how many workers he's running on. And if this worker's expanding, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Unless bakahentai decides to expand as well. In which case, you know, they're both kind of just sit back for a little bit. See, double expanding. No, it's just checking for proxy, I guess, or making his way over the watchtower, probably. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. We have 6 Lings on the way, and a Roach Warren on the way for Matterhorn as well. Matterhorn seems to be a pretty big fan of using these roaches against the Ling pressure. Just building barely enough to survive, and then transitioning as soon as humanly possible. And, you know, nice little dancing here, Ling dancing. Looks like Matterhorn's Lings are clearly not superior number or skill. And, ooh, almost gets surrounded there, not quite. And, yeah, these Lings are going to start pressuring this third base still. Not really much for Matterhorn to do here. You know, he's finally pumping out some more Lings, just enough to push them back. But 20 more on the way for bakahentai. Really curious what he's going to do here. Once these Lings all arrive and we get some Banelings going, it's going to be pretty hard for Matterhorn to stop with his current composition until he needs to get some of these roaches out before they get here, which he finally is now. But I mean, as we saw in game 2, like they still take a lot of damage from Banelings, especially whenever they're all clumped up. It's just exaggerated. And now we got some more Banelings, and Matterhorn knows what's up. He knows he's in a little bit of trouble here. These Banes get a good connection. They don't. Got some more roaches on the way now. With that third base canceled and bakahentai's up, he's feeling comfortable to sit back. He says, I know you come to me, or you'll just lose in macro. Let's see what these Lings are up to, making their way across the map. Meanwhile, as far as upgrades go, nothing too much. +1 melee on the way. I think I just actually took a screenshot. That's not what I wanted to do. 10 more Lings on the way here for bakahentai, and we got LVMatterhorn kind of struggling to find a response. Spire on the way now here for bakahentai. He's continued, and meanwhile, Matterhorn's continuing to pump out roaches. You know, I think definitely one thing he needs to work on is scouting the main, because twice now it's been up behind there, and it just didn't quite spot it, you know. And you know, like he could fly. I feel like he could get Overlord speed, fly that Overlord in, and even if it dies, he will be able to spot it, and that would allow him to react now. He could already have Spore Crawlers building. He could be getting a Hydra Ascend right now. But instead, he's going to be stuck on this Roach Lings comp for a fair minute, and it'll be pretty rough for him to try and defend against those with no static defenses and limited queens. And down here, a couple of Lings getting bullied, trying to eat their way over at that sweet hatchery, but it's just not enough. 78 armies applied to 28, 82 now. This is the window where Matterhorn has the advantage, and I know I've said that before, and almost every time he has killed himself immediately afterwards. But he does actually have a fairly significant window here. With these roaches, he's going to try and force his way around, fight him where he wants them. And nice splits now. One vein goes off, two veins goes off, really nothing. Three, about to be four if he can focus fire, and there it goes. Not really the hits he wanted. Now it's Lings versus a lot of roaches, but the mutants are finally out here, and it is a lot. These roaches will all die eventually. Question is, how much damage can they get done before they do? Looks like he's going to focus on the natural. And now he's going to go up into the main base. These mutants still chipping away at these roaches, but just not fast enough. These queens are going down now. And he's going to keep walking up here. Might try and focus on this layer. That's a little greedy of him, I think. I feel like he'd be better off going off to the spire or something. But it looks like he will be able to get it, actually. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is so close. Down it goes. Wow. What a fight. What a battle. And now it's down to one base here for bakahentai. That armor got cleaned up, so it's 32 to 60 armor supply. Matterhorn needs to be very careful about how much he drones here, because he needs to get an army up to replace what he lost before this army arrives. He's getting a Hydralisk in, he's building more drones. I don't think he realizes how grave this threat is. He has the Spore Callers, but other than that, he still has no way to answer to the Mutalisks. The Speedlings will be able to run by while he's occupied with dealing with that. And now the roaches are getting surrounded, the Lings are going nuts. The Muta's doing a lot of work here, and all the army dies. 4 armies fly to 54. GG, well played. bakahentai moves on to the finals. Wow. What a play. What a game. Let's see, it was Matterhorn. No.